Hi guys, I'm Shmi and I'm in Gaydon at the home of Aston Martin, where we're about to see the unveiling of the new AM RB001. So we'll take a look at the car being unveiled to the world for the first time and then take a look around it in a little bit more detail.
Well, what a wonderful atmosphere, what a unique location for the launch of something very special today.
Absolutely, I mean it's an incredible car. When you see it, you will, I won't need to say anything, Adrian won't need to say anything, it speaks for itself really. It's such an exciting project and such an exciting car to see.
It gives me great pleasure then to ask the three of you to unveil the Aston Martin Red Bull 001. It's tiny, isn't it? Isn't that absolutely glorious? And is that the final name?
No, it's not.
The final name being then?
The final name being somewhere in the legal department, seeing what we can register. But no, AMRB001 doesn't really roll off the tongue, does it? So it's a working name, it's a code name, but there will be a proper name coming.
Something beginning with V?
Could be.
We look forward to that.
So this is it. The AM RB001, the hypercar that has been developed in partnership between Aston Martin and Red Bull Racing. We've been waiting to see it, and doesn't it just look spectacular? This is, I suppose, to the hypercar. This is insane to the hypercar in the same way that the 177 was beautiful as a hypercar. We've heard that there are going to be between 99 and a maximum of 150 of them, including 25 track cars. The main car is going to be road focused, and all of the sort of prototypes and future variants that will exist. But the crazy thing, just look at it, is the aerodynamics at play here. You can see that it's basically hollowed out all the way through the underneath of the car to generate significant downforce. And obviously with that comes the look and design. Back here is a mid-rear mounted, naturally aspirated V12. It's going to be high revving, but we don't have too many details on the performance statistics specifications of the car yet, other than that they're aiming for a 1-to-1 power to weight ratio. So that's aiming for 1 brake horsepower per kilo of weight. Even though the cockpit is very central sort of and narrow, it is a two-seater. I'll head round towards the side and the front in a moment. But the way it sort of swoops back over the engine towards that exhaust exit right there in the centre of the rear is rather special. And presumably with that naturally aspirated V12, it's going to sound incredible. The design round here, I mean, it basically looks sort of almost like an LMP1 car. The way it's all shaped and swoops and curves, different aerodynamics at work, and that's the sort of proceeds of working with Adrian Newey to design the underneath of the car, and Marek Reichman to sculpt the beauty on top of the car. One of the sort of design highlights I really like is if you come down here, behind those front arches, you can see all the way through and out the front of the car. This is all sort of pulling the air and sort of focusing it and giving the car maximum downforce. So ultimately, when they make the track version, to make it achieve sort of performance capabilities of Le Mans prototypes, LMP1 cars. The way this car is coloured in the sort of GTE paint style, darker metallic green with the bright green highlights is rather special. And the interior you can see here with the steering wheel, obviously not ready for full release yet, but you have the front look there, very much race car focused, and they're demonstrating obviously that it's got 2 seats in the cabin here too. Just shuffle back to take a better look at it. So it's a 2-seater, mid-rear engine, naturally aspirated V12. I mean, this thing's going to be under 1,000 kilos. It's going to have somewhere near 1,000 horsepower, I suppose. It's a fairly special machine, the AM RB001 concept, as written there on the side fin. So we'll come back round towards the front to show you what's going on down here in a bit more detail. I mean, because it's a concept, there aren't sort of lights installed yet, but you can see that they're going to be there. When we look down across the bottom, this is where you can really see the aerodynamics at work going on under there. You can see straight through the whole car, but you've still got sort of multi-layered lips and fins, obviously, for moving air around through the inside. Across the top here, this shape is very typical Aston Martin. It's like the shape across the top of the grille normally on the road cars. Wow, just look at that view with the arches, the front wheel arches sort of sticking out high and strong. Imagine when you're driving it, you've got a very central driving position relative to the whole car, so you'll see the top points of those arches with very, very good positioning ability. This is going to be a special car to drive. So just come round it and show you a little bit more of the car here. I mean, it is absolutely, well, incredible. Just look at the thing we're looking at here. It's the definition of insane, and this is going to be a road car. £2 to £3 million is the quoted price. The concept name is the AM RB001. It's not the final name for the car. That is yet to be confirmed, along with all of the other details. But this is the start of a story until deliveries in 2018. So it's a fair way off down the line. It's going to be built here in Gaydon by Aston Martin. Orders are being taken through Aston Martin as well. Just a little bit speechless. Looking around at the wheel design is very familiar Aston Martin design, but the swoops, the shapes, the curves, the intakes, the vents, the different sort of things going on. It's just something fairly out of this world. It's literally extraordinary. Aston Martin's setting the standards and the bars very, very high with this hypercar. Very, very high indeed. As I said, they're only going to be between 100 and 150, between 99 and 150 of the cars, and they've already taken interest from 370 customers. So it's already effectively triple subscribed the number of cars they're going to be built from customers who have expressed interest, submitted their letters of intent already based on not even seeing the car, just sort of hearing what they're aiming for and what they're working on. This is really what it's all about. This is the sculpted beauty design work of Aston Martin with the fantastic engineering of Red Bull that led them to, well, even under the current setup, eight wins.
Sorry, excuse me. Sorry, for the moment.
Just keep having a look down here. Just everything, all of these shapes, they're just absolutely crazy. Absolutely crazy. What an awesome machine. I'm kind of just almost waffling now as I walk around, but I'm still trying to take in the whole thing and sort of gauge exactly what we're looking at. Because this is one of the few times it's going to be seen before the car heads off. And it will go through further iterations before it's on to the final customer specification version. But for now, it's a jaw-dropping, absolutely jaw-dropping supercar, hypercar. And I can only imagine, what sort of performance are we going to be looking at when this thing goes into production? It's going to be, well, sub 3 seconds, not 60 clear. Cornering forces, 3G, pushing on, sort of aiming for the track version, LMP1 standards and the sort of performance abilities. So is that 4G? I'm not even sure. Track times, they're going to be absolutely mind-boggling. They're not going to make sense at all. An impressive car, and it's wonderful to be able to see it here at the launch in the factory. What wonderful surroundings to be looking at the car. And just coming around to the doors, just look at the doors, you can see that they clearly open up forwards and outwards. So they'll be quite dramatic. The way you step in, no doubt, will be rather special as well over the top of that vent, that sort of fin down there. But this has been a special day, an awesome opportunity to come and see the car at the first presentation of it here at the factory. truly spectacular. So I shall leave you there. I hope you've enjoyed this first look around the AM RB001. I'm sure this will not be the last time filming with this car in its development life cycle, and also I'll be back here in the factory filming some stuff with my Aston Martin Vantage GT8 that's being built later this year too, so I'm excited about that. But this car is phenomenal and I can't wait to see more of it. So thank you very much for watching. I will catch up with you again very soon. Cheers! The Vantage GT8 is sort of the final version of the V8 Vantage. It's a special, and then we have the GT12 Roadster. Now this is a special Q car, custom. Up there goes the Aston Martin Vulcan.